Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. On this episode, I'm going back to Wagga Wagga again to do some racing in my recumbent. I've got my trike down here, this time without the fairing. I decided it was pretty hot last time and it's going to be around 30 degrees this time, so I may as well just ride it without the fairing and get a little bit of wind blowing over me rather than being cooped up in a 40-degree coffin. The track is very steep. It's got like 15 meters elevation gain over the kilometer circuit. So I don't need a fairing. It's not really useful. And having that, I can lean my body a little bit more and hopefully corner a bit faster. But I'm heading out now to drive to Wagga Wagga. I'm going to take 2 days to get there. Like I always do, I try to break my trip up and see a bit of New South Wales. Got my camping gear set up next to it as well. Normally what we do is you get on the freeway, go through Sydney, and that takes you a little bit inland past Canberra, and you go through Albury Wodonga, across the Victorian border, and then down to Melbourne. So I normally do that trip. But this time I thought I'd do something different. So I'm going to go to Sydney and then head out west. You go to Lithgow and then you go down to Bathurst and then up over Blue Mountains to Bathurst. And then you go past Bathurst and then on through down to Carcoar, which is the home of Kurt Fearnley, one of the greatest Australian Olympians of all time. So I figured I'd go check out that town and see what that's all about. And on the way through the Blue Mountains, I will stop at the Blue Mountains Botanic Gardens and have a look around there because it's supposed to be pretty good. So join me on today's trip and I'll see you at the Blue Mountains. Well, I've arrived at the Blue Mountains Botanic Gardens. It took me about 2 hours and 15 minutes. So let's go around and have a look. I was greeted with some beautiful natives over here as I drove in, so I'll show you them. As you can see, I've got my hoodie on. I always underpack for places like this. The Blue Mountains is pretty cold. I'm used to like steady, constant temperature on the coast. Let's go have a look around. So the first thing I'm greeted with, it's a Blue Mountain National Park, near the Wallamai National Park. You know how much I love Wallamais. A little grove of Wallamai is the first thing I get meted with, and they got cones on them with tags, so it looks like they're collecting seeds. So I came in this gate here and drove up there and went around here, and there was Gondwana forest, but it looks like there's a permanent rainforest and jungle walk. Oh my god. So yeah, I'll just wander around for a couple of hours. I've got literally all day because I don't have to be in Carcoar until, you know, whenever. It's a native waratah, the symbol for New South Wales. How's the view out here? This is a cool little plant. Check out the way that its leaves grow. They're like little offshoots like that. It's like it grows another set of leaves every year on each little branch. Cool, eh? Oh, I see another wallamai. Right there. Nice little pond. This part of the garden is absolutely amazing. It's for perfect use of a lay of the land. You can see the slope starts to flatten out a bit, and then it sort of drops off again down there where the conifer section is. So I've sort of just built like a little long dam, I don't know what you'd call it, swale, large pond in the flattish area. And then, yeah, it catches all the water up there, but then you've got all these footpaths that sweep and wind all the way up the side of a hill. It's amazing. And the water flows over that and down into, I'd imagine, what would be a catch. I'd assume they recycle it back to the top. This section is the bog garden. It's got a drain for overflow, and then it's sort of just muddy, boggy water. A few carnivorous plants just here. And a few more over here. Now the sun's out, the pumps have started. Solar panel there, another solar panel up the top there, so I don't know if that does like a main pump, but I can see a solar panel down there as well, just to aerate the water, I guess. Not sure if you can hear it, but I can hear the struggles of a flying insect. They fall down those tubes which have hairs on it facing down. It makes it near impossible to climb back out. I can hear it, I don't know where it is, somewhere around there. Coastal redwood. These are the ones I saw in America. Conifers, one of my favourite. They smell good, and they're massive, and they grow really old, and they look cool, and they're big that you can build a tree house in them, because that's what I want to do. This one's a strange one. It's real bushy, but it's got the exact same leaves as a wallamai. One up and one down on each side. It's got the new growth like a wallamai, but the bark doesn't look anything like it. I'll have to ask someone what it is. Or there's a tag, I might go read it. That's what it is. There you go, it must be a very similar species to the wallamai. Rosella's copying me. Got here, it says magpie territory down here. And I'm getting swooped. By the way, how's the view? That's spectacular. Apparently it was a film. In here somewhere is the original wallamais planted when they first discovered the plant. These were the first ones ever planted from cuttings that they got from the native ones out in the Wallamai National Park. So let's see if I can find it. Quite a bit of roadworks going on down there, hence why it's so noisy. That one's a big one. Here's 2. 3. Wallamai pine. There we go. Very long and thin. It's probably only about as round as my leg, but it's monstrously tall. Even more of them. You can see why they need to be shaded from other trees. Mine at home, the instructions said put in a protected area from wind, which is true because being so long and skinny, it's going to flex a lot. So all these other trees around it are protecting it. And if you look at my video from last year when I went to Wagga Wagga, the Botanic Gardens there, their Wallamai pine is in the perfect location on a sloped, friable, loose leaf litter soil like this, in near the bottom of a gully, but it's also protected by a lot of tall trees around it. There's heaps of them over here too. So yeah, this is the exact location that they are living in the wild. They're sort of at the bottom of the valley, like right up the end, and protected by the mountains and all the cliff face and other Wallamai pines for all the little ones growing up. You can see how close the bushfires got to the Botanic Gardens. It's literally just there. All these were damaged, all the understory gone, but it's growing back. And the trees haven't died. They've just got new growth coming out. Well, that was a lovely experience. You really have to appreciate the size and scale, the effort that goes into everything. Keeping everything like this perfect, all the rock edges and footpaths and everything like that. I'm not sure how many staff they have, but they do a great effort. So now I'm going to go on my way to Lithgow and then up through to Bathurst. I'll do a lap around Panorama if it's open. They have events on there all the time. Bathurst was about a month ago, so they might be having like the 24-hour event soon, I'm not sure. But if it's open, I'll do a lap and then I'll go out to Carcoar. Great view. There's Conrod straight down there. The little, oh, it must be down, and that's the bump, and then the bend, and then the kinky bit at the bottom and the hotel, and then the main straight up the back. Here's a caged area where the officials stand, so if there's any incidents they can flag it. Good view. The noise would be amazing hearing them get on the brakes as they come into this steep bit just here. Here's a little lookout with some information. You can pause it to give it a full read. Circuit length 6.2 kilometers. Highest point 862 meters above sea level. 174 meters altitude difference between the top and bottom. Pretty cool. Well, I have arrived at Carcoar. So far, I've gone to the museum, which doesn't exist anymore, I don't think, because there's a retirement village, and the Carcoar Tunnel, which is somewhere in that scrub. So, not much to see so far. Oh, I can see something there under the highway. Not sure how to get there though. It's a small town. I've seen smaller, but it's pretty small. It's got a pub, so I'll see what I can find over here and then see what other things there are. Well, next stop, Carcoar Station. Hopefully there's something there. Oh, there's a train station here. Don't know if it works. The supposed tunnel down the road here is a train tunnel, but yeah, it wouldn't advertise it if it was, you know, working. I don't know. Looks pretty old. Little luggage weight scales. Wonder if anyone's home. Pretty quiet around here. So I'm going to go down to that museum, which is like literally just there. It's kind of like Battle Mountain. It's like one side of town to the other. You can just throw a rock. Like that red car pulling out there, that is the main street. So I'll go down to that museum and just go for a wander. Well, this is the museum. Just someone's yard, I guess. A little cattle thingy. Cool. Solid. War memorial. Kurt Family Park. There it is. Kerr family. There are 2 churches in town, according to Google. The Church of Immaculate Conception. Never heard of it. Sounds very extravagant. And then Anglican Church, which is just here. Don't know how much it gets used. Doggos. Don't want to piss them off. Not bad. I'll go see the Immaculate Church. This must be it. Also a pretty good view over town. Catholic Church, okay. There you go. And it looks like it's open. There's a cop shop here too. Wouldn't get much action out here, I wouldn't imagine. Be pretty quiet other than people speeding through the middle of town. There's a primary school that Kurt went to. That was on one of those Where Are They Now shows on telly. You know it's a small town when they don't serve food on a Wednesday at the pub. There's only a couple of people out the front just having a little yarn. And then 3 of them left, so it was only 2 and me. But they said Blaney serves food. It's a bit bigger of a town. Yeah, they've got an Olympic pool. So I'm going to go there, and I'll go to the dam first and check that out. Do a little tour, and then go get food, and then I can just drive straight back to the camping area and set up my camp. Carcour Dam. There's the dam wall. There's some quackers. It appears to be pretty full, according to the spillway over here that I can see. Let's go on the other side of the road and have a look. It's not a wide dam. It's not very wide, but it's pretty long. And it's a respectable depth. You know I do love a dam. Let's see if we can walk down there. Looks like there's a gate there, so I don't think so, but we may be able to sneak around. Just not tell anyone. Yeah, we could sneak down there, I reckon. Nice little valley that it goes into. That's very cool. And then the wind farm up there. You can hear them. Might go check that out. I'll check on Google Earth and see if it's possible to get right up underneath one. We've got radar level sensing. Very nice. Some nets to stop boats and fish and stuff like that falling off the edge, because if it's anything like the dams that we got at home, it's possible to go right up to the edge. So this is the dam wall. At our pump stations, the pump station is at the dam wall for Mooney, and for Mangrove it's just down the creek. But here, I reckon it'd be somewhere upstream, closer to town, closer to services. I just checked, it's 500 metres wide, about 300 metres wide and 2 kilometres long. So it's about half as long as Mooney. Yeah, as I suspected, it is private property, but it's a little bit closer. There's some cows watching me. And how's this view? Unbelievable. Look at that. Carcour Dam. That's a camping area down there. It's like right on the river. You can't swim because the water might have algae and stuff in it. It's not oxygenated. But, you know, you can row. Don't tell anyone, but I'm breaking the law. I don't trust I could make it and not get back. Looks beautiful though. It's not as big from down here. Whew. Just ran up it. I was never here. Just parked. Tried to get the flattest spot possible. And we got showers, so I might use them later. This is amazing. Dead calm. I'd love to take a jet cycle out on this. If you don't know what that is, go follow Francois Purvis on Instagram, because that's what he does. He cycles those. They're like a foiled, cycled kayak. Good morning. I'm in Cowra. I drove from the Carcour Dam camping area to Cowra this morning to catch the sunrise. Have some brekkie. On the way up here, they've got a water treatment facility here. I know all about them. Let's go check out the view from up there. It smells like Battle Mountain, it smells like farmland. It's cold like Battle Mountain, it's in the middle of nowhere like Battle Mountain. It's not flat like Battle Mountain, but still get the vibes. What? Holy crap, that's disorientating. And some big kangaroos. So I figured I would check out Cowra while I was here, and then looking on Google Maps, there's Cootamundra just down the road, which is the birthplace of Don Bradman. So they've got some stuff there about him, and in Cowra I'm gonna go see the Jap Gardens, some train museum, a couple other things. There's some parks down here, like a Riverside Park, so I'll just go check out the town. I got no rush to be in Wagga Wagga today, so yeah, I'll just take my time getting there. These Japanese gardens are amazing. Like, huge area. Must be acres and acres of land. Immaculate condition. No one's as old as I am. Okay. This is a gigantic train. Doing some work to it. This is cool. Got lathes and drill bits. Cool. They got belt driven all the way down there to the lathe. Belt driven lathe, that's crazy. I'm faster than that. I did 115.86, so I'm quicker than this train. Solid door. Which one's Harry Potter in? Harry Potter? Is that you? Very spacious. Lots of room. Little windows you can open. Luggage up the top. Lots of leg room. So this is a first class carriage. It smells like old. Little numbers. The bunks. Oh wow, what's this? Press. Interesting. Heaps of storage. Luggage up there and a cupboard there as well. Little fan. Whatever that is. A light. A mirror. Cupboards down here. Oh look. A little table. How good's that? The beds even fold away. That's cool. Little hooks here for it to hook into. This is pretty cool.
Start with the aircraft. That one there. Go here. Take a photo.
Race day today, just giving the apexes a sweep down and getting all the inside knowledge on where to hit the perfect line. Last year I found that my wheels were starting to like buckle as I hit the apexes, so hopefully this year I can hit a better line, and without the fairing I can lean into the corner a little bit more and give a little bit more weight over the inside tyre so I don't have it buckle underneath me. But we've got registration in about 10 minutes, so I'll just finish up here and sign on and do a lap just to get used to the track and see what it's like. I'm working up a bit of a sweat, but it's like quite windy today. It's supposed to be a bit overcast towards the middle of the day, and it's nowhere near as hot as last time. It's probably like 18 degrees right now, 17 degrees, where last year it was already 30 degrees at this time of day, and it was brutal. So without the fairing and cooler temperatures, hopefully I'll be able to push a little bit harder. No way I'll be able to catch Dom because he's an absolute machine, but he's kind of my only other competition. There are some like good riders here, but hopefully with my cornering ability I can get some better time, or not better times, better efforts than last year. So I didn't film much of the competition purely because I didn't have much time and I was too busy racing, but I ended up winning. Can't believe it. I put it down to not much competitive participation. There's some really fast guys in New South Wales that could absolutely destroy me, probably in the sprint and the 4K and the road race and the criterium, but they didn't turn up, so I guess trophy's mine. So I've got to get a plaque made up for Dom of last year, and then me for this year. So summary, I did a pretty good effort in a road race. I was actually quite surprised. I averaged 32 k's an hour with 290 meters altitude gain. The criterium, I came second in that, came second in the criterium. I came first in the 1 lap sprint or 1 lap time trial of the road course. The 4K, I came second. The 1 lap on the velodrome, which is like the 200 fly, which is actually 333 meters, was probably the most amazing event out of all the competition. My best achievement. I did 1 kilometer an hour slower than the world record. I couldn't believe it. I averaged 53.6 k's an hour for the 1 lap, which is pretty bloody quick, especially on an unfed trike. So I've got my trike here. So I guess that's going to be a world record. I'm going to start focusing on chasing, as well as training for Battle Mountain and stuff like that. But if I can squeeze a little bit more out of the efficiency of this trike in terms of aerodynamics and my training, because I haven't been training all that seriously recently, I reckon I could get the world record. And I might even be able to go for the 1 kilometer world record as well on a trike. So I didn't think a trike would be my first world record that I'd try for, but hey, no one else has tried for it, so I may as well go for it. So on my trike, it is very aerodynamic underneath. It's still a little bit rough, but I'm not going to worry about that. I might sand it smoother and do another coat just to get like the tiniest bit out of it. But what I'm going to do is get the brake, the derailleur cable, and run it internally through the cavity here, and then pop it out the side here and have it come straight up onto the handlebar as low as possible out of the drag of the wind. This brake and the brake for the front right and left brakes are going to go, and I'll put the rear disc back on and have that come internally as well and pop out and have that lever as low as possible on the other side. Apparently the ruling says you can have some type of little nose cone on here to deflect the air, so I'm going to have the deflected air go up and over all these sharp little objects here, and probably put like a rounded edge on the front here as well, and fill in this gap for the triangle up here with some foam. So that'll keep the aerodynamics separate through here, and it won't all turbulate. Like the mounting brackets and stuff at the front and the back, I can't really do much about because I have designed it for use in my matrix fairing, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm going to tape this little flap down because it kept popping up and like flapping in the wind. I'll wear an aero helmet, wear some like aero skins because I had just my plain shirt on, and move all this. I might even cut this down a bit to be about the same height as that, because I only ever grab it here. So if we can have the lever lower and then have that up my hand as high as possible, but we'll think about that, because the last thing I want to do, well actually not really, if I ever cut it down I can just put another tube and just bond it up here, or just from here onwards, as long as I get these angles correct. It doesn't matter, so I can cut it down without too much of a worry. So yeah, get as much of this stuff out of the air as possible, tape this up a bit better, maybe even create 2 discs for the back, because I wasn't going to put a disc cover on the back wheel, but you know, now that I'm going for a record, I'm going to do that, and just do little things like taping things up as much as possible. Any little hole that's sticking out I'll tape up, and I'll probably get a sander onto this, but we'll see. So that's my plans for the next couple of months of training. thanks to everyone who turned up, and stoked to have won it. Yeah, pretty cool. Goes back to 1990, so we've got quite a few repeat names, so hopefully the next couple of repeats are mine. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed mostly the trip to Wagga Wagga, but it was cool. I guess it's just documentation of the things that I like to do, rather than, you know, specifically focusing on sport. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.